Okay, there we go. Kilo Delta 7, Alpha Kilo Echo. Thank you, Jim. That's the incoming net control station. He's a great relay for us, too. All right, stand by just a second.
We have a Racal 6217. This radio was probably made in the very early 1970s or late 1960s. And the reason I say that is because there's a laminated card up here from the agency that had it before they sold it into surplus. And the CB range only goes up to channel 23. And we know that they added up to 40 channels. That was happening in the early or mid 70s. So this predates that. Anyway, let's zoom in a little bit, see what's going on. Obviously I have it set for 20-meter sideband on a nice signal. Alright, so just before I change it off of there, oh, we're at 6 kilohertz bandwidth. Let's drop it to 3 in case he comes back. But anyway, I put it on BFO 0, and you tune your BFO here. Volume, RF gain. Anyway, so you got your BFO 0, then you got a +3 and a -3, and I can only guess what that means. That maybe it's +3 hertz or -3 hertz or even -6 hertz off of 0 in case you get out of range or something like that. That's my guess. And then obviously you put it on AM for AM, but then for SSB, I don't know why they would have a SSB and a BFO. I haven't figured all that out yet. But anyway, and obviously we have the bandwidth selector there. So let's put this in AM and look for some shortwave stuff. AM, let's bump this to 6 kilohertz. That's a nice bandwidth. And then the tuning is like a Collins 390 where you've got your megahertz and it clicks into place. So let's go to like, I think there's a 12 range here. So then your kilohertz is on here. So let's go down, and oh, it also has a crystal calibrator. So you put it every 100 hertz. So it could be 100 or 200. So let's put it on 100 here, 12, 100. You just center it up just as close as you can. And you put this on calibrate. Then you hear that tone. So I had it calibrated in the 20-meter band. So every time you change your range where you're at, you're gonna have to recalibrate. You hear that? 0 beat. Boom. Put it back to AGC. You can also go manual with no AGC, and then you'll have to manually select the RF gain. But the AGC works very well on this, so I got no problem with that. Then it's got a check BFO. I'm not sure exactly how all that works, but noise limiter, I don't really know as much when I flip that. So let's go. I think there was a signal at 1250, maybe 12050. Yeah. Then you got a pre-selector. So we're in the correct range, 8 to 16, but watch how sensitive this fine tune is. Watch the meter. And I'm turning very slowly. It peaks, then you immediately lose it. See that? Very fine and sensitive. Now, I don't know if that's because it's old or if it's supposed to be that sensitive. But we've got a signal strength meter and a line level. Bounces with the voice. All right. There's another shortwave station. I wanted to get it off that music just in case someone was going to have a hard time with that. Let's see if we have to, in order to peak it, let's see if we have to redo this, because we're only 120 hertz away from where we were.
Because they are a medium. They are a medium to some.
It would have held. It would have held. And then you have an attenuation. You can dial down. You could add attenuation. So minimum attenuation means no attenuation. You also can lock these controls by twisting this dial in the back, and it locks the knob so you can't bump it or move it. On the pre-selector, so like I said, you pre-select it by the range, and then this is the fine tune for the pre-selector. But if you put it on WB at either side, that's wideband. Let's try it. See, if you go out of range, 16 to 30 or 4 to 8, you lose it. But if you go to wideband, it's still there. But you'll get some bleed over from some other stuff, because apparently this is a super sensitive receiver. What else? Kilohertz, we showed how that works. The calibrator, yeah, every time you move, if you go out a different megahertz range, for sure you're going to want to calibrate it. Although sometimes it's pretty close, like between 12 and 14, it's only a little bit off. Between 10 and 12, I was on WWV at 10, and it seemed to be spot on. But anyway, it's not hard to calibrate it, but you do have to do it if you're concerned that you need this to be as close to perfect as possible. I mean, this is not going to make it a better radio or even more sensitive. It's only going to make this read correctly. So, and we already went over these, the bandwidth, 13 kilohertz.
Is finished. It goes into socialism and communism. And you
got your volume, and then the top one is RF gain.
Okay, COVID, of course, that's always in the paper. That's on page 1. No, that's on page 4. COVID by the numbers.
Let's try it. Let's see if WWV will even come in. 10. It's about, I don't know, it's probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in Dallas, Central Standard Time. It's probably about 7 p.m. UTC. There we go. All right, so let's also calibrate it. So there's 10, as close as I can get it. Let's put this on, let's peak it first. So we're still in the 8 to 16 range, so let's peak the signal. Right there. Let's put on cal. All right. Right about there. Put this back. AGC medium to be safe. If we don't want fast or slow, and this is that confusing long and short as opposed to fast and slow. So we got that. So bringing in WWV. Let's go up to 15 and see what's happening. All right, I might have to peak it again because we're still in the 8 to 16 range, so. Yep, see that? You just move that thing. I mean, I only moved it from there to there, okay? And 15. Oh, let's see how far off our calibration is. It's 0 beat. Still in, still holds. Nice. All right, what the heck? Let's try 20. We have to go up to the next range. Then we have to peak it. Now let's calibrate it. Nope, we're still good. Still good on the calibration. Let's play with this a little bit. 20's just not there. So let's go down to 4, 10. Let's go to 5. 5. And then we have to go back to the 5 range. So that would be that one. And then we have to peak it. Let's check the calibration. Ooh, so you can hear that? It means it's slightly off. Oh, 0 beat. So good. We're good there. The microphone on this phone camera is not great, so I'm sure you cannot hear it. If I listen to really close, I can barely hear the beeps in the background. That's just because of the time of day. Let's try a little medium wave. So now, without the VLF, so the radio as it is basically designed to go from 1 megahertz to 30 megahertz. And underneath that, it's totally deaf. You have to add the VLF converter to go from like 10 kilohertz, or excuse me, yeah, it's like 10 kilohertz to, or it might even be 5 kilohertz to 1 megahertz. But like I said, I got that thing, but I don't have the cables for it, nor would I even know which jacks to put them in, because like I said, there's 100 jacks on the back of that thing. So let's find a medium wave. So 1080 is really powerful, and we're not even in the right range. That's how strong the station is.
Yeah, that would probably be my guess.
Let's watch it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
Bumps,
check
and
in
let's
there
peek it.
again. Maybe I'll
talk to the supplier and see if it
Yeah.
was so squishy there, you know.
How tall is your attic? I mean, is it
Let's
low
go
enough
up
that you
to
down into turn 12, first gear. You may pull second gear just a little bit if you're spinning your tires right here, but mostly a first gear up to turn number 13.
bump
No
the
side-by-side
bandwidth.
battles,
Let's
but
peek
here's
it
the leader,
first.
313. Behind him, once again, trying to make up some room, make up some ground, is Michael McDowell. The battle's going to shape up between the
forgot
33
to,
of Austin Cindric and the number
let's
24
calibrate it
of William
first.
Myers.
200. Right about there. And let's go to 1160.
Turn number 19 on left-hand corner. This is one that under dry conditions they would overshoot the
Bump the
corner.
bandwidth.
Right now they're keeping everything on the asphalt as they head back up the hill toward turn 20 in the front stretch.
Half-mile straightaway here along the front stretch. Let's call Joey Logano's lead. 20 car lengths over Michael McDowell. It's 30 back to Cindric, and then William Byron next in line, followed by Kirk.
So this thing is really
Weather
cool and it
conditions
works
may not
pretty
be
darn
ideal,
good.
but what a complexion change
So,
we've seen multiple times just in the first
weird
stage
thing
of this
is,
race.
I
Things
could
really
turn the
tighten
volume
up
all the way
in the
down,
spot. That's where us
and I can still hear it. I have to back off the RF to kind of kill it. And then the on and off is built into this, so you just off. Then the antenna I was running is I forget the exact name, but it's made by Bonito. It's like an active mini whip. So I got it mounted outside about 15, 18 feet off the ground. And then it comes in, and then you have to run like a USB power thing to this unit. And then from there, I run it to a feed. If you can see that thing there, that has all the connections on it. And then that disperses it to several radios. It's a multi-coupler. You don't have to flip a switch. That's also powered, so it's amplified or whatever, and it sends power to several radios. That one's a 4-port. You can get an 8-port. It's made by Stridesburg. Stridesburg. STRIDSB. I forgot if it's ERG or URG. Stridesburg Engineering. It's great tool, and works great. Yeah, and the radio is really cool. So thanks for hanging out.